What is going on, guys? Marcus here with the Reformation Woodshop. If you had a time machine and for some reason you wanted to go back and visit me 10 years ago, you would have found a long-haired, scrawny, because I'm big and buff now, you would have found myself in a metal band. I may not look like it, but at one point in my lifetime, I could belt the most beautiful screams you've ever heard in your life. Okay, I'm not being modest enough, but it's some of the funnest times of my life. I have always been interested in music. I love music. I've always wanted to contribute in some way to creating audio that makes people happy. Segue to today, where I do not do music anymore, but I make with my hands. In today's video, I am going to show you guys how I make pedal boards. I've been making these pedal boards for a while, and I think that I have the aesthetic nailed down to a T. I hope you enjoy them, and if you want to see a little throwback to me screaming on stage, the music that will make your parents angry, stay tuned to the end of the video. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do when creating your pedal board is to pick which wood you want to use. I'm using alder today. I have made pedal boards out of pine, oak, and also walnut. Then you're going to cut those pieces to length. The pedal board, when it is finished, will be 18 by 8 inches. So I'm going to take the time now to rough cut everything. Alright, so I got my pieces. I'm going to know that the back of the pedal board is taller than all other pieces, so that will be that. I'm going to need pieces that will be the runners where the pedals will sit, so that will be these guys that I will cut up. And then I'm going to need a front, which is going to be a little shorter, so we'll call that guy the front. And then I'm going to be needing sides that will go up or incline up and meet the top. So we'll try to utilize this piece. If not, I'll have to get a little bit of a taller piece and have the bottom meet the top. Next thing we're going to do, though, is make the runners. I'm cutting the rails that the pedals will sit on. I want them to be square slats. So I take the board that I have, lay it over on its side to get the exact width of it, and when I go to cut it, I will lay it down and cut strips that should be perfectly square. So I'm just laying everything out so I get an idea and understanding of what's going into this. Now you can see basically a minimalist, deconstructed version of a pedal board. Obviously, you need to make the sides. These guys will sit in lap joints or dados in the sides. They'll look kind of nice. This is going to get taken down a lot because that is definitely not going to be the height. All I got to do is determine the angle where that'll meet, and then I'll cut that down. Next thing I'll do is rip the top of the pedal board down to its final height, which will be 4 inches, and cut the sides of the pedal board to their final length, which will be 8 inches. After that, I'll make 2 marks to indicate where the taper will start and stop on the sides of the pedal board, and then I'll make the necessary cuts to make it look good. I want that taper to continue through the front of the pedal board, so I am using the existing sides to mark lines that will show me exactly what needs to be cut. Now I'll take all my pieces over to the miter saw, cut a 45-degree angle in every single corner so that whenever I go to put them together, they line up beautifully. So the next thing I need to do after I've got all the corners mitered and all the pieces laid out is to find the spacing for the rails that will be inset into the sides. You can lay them out on your table like I have here. I know that this space here is 7 inches. Obviously it needs to come off of your top piece. There needs to be a space here, and then, your bottom piece, and then also there needs to be a little gap where the top piece is going to be. So there's a 7-inch space there. Going to pull this down, pretend there's a board right here, which is your bottom piece. 3/4 inch space, 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 or close enough, because it's not going to be exactly that. And that's how you'll know exactly where you need to be. I'm not 100% sure that was completely understandable, so just to clarify, make sure all the slots have equal spacing in between them. However you decide to do that, even if it's as knuckleheaded as I decide to figure it out, do it that way. Now for this next part, I could have easily taken it over to the bandsaw, cut out the material, shaped it up with a chisel, and been done with it. But I wanted to add a little hybrid woodworking into this, use a handsaw, just to add a little class to the joint, you know what I'm saying? After following all my lines with the handsaw, I come back in with a coping saw and clear out the material easily and effectively. Now it's time for assembly, the time when I figure out if I did everything right. Let's find out. Everything seemed to fit together really nice and really snug. Next thing up on the list to do is sand, which will only make everything look even better. Included with every pedalboard I make is a vintage leather strap from Fender and 2 1/4-inch locking jacks that make plugging in and playing absolutely easy. When it comes to drilling these holes through the pedalboard that the jacks will go into, I only drill about 3/4 of the way through, and then flip the board over and drill the rest of the way through. That way there's no blowout on either side. If you just slam the drill all the way through, you're most likely going to have that bit explode through the other side. On to finishing this beautiful pedalboard. I used Early American by Minwax on the alder and it just made it pop. You can see all the grain, all the beauty of the natural wood. Earlier on in the build I marked and punched where the screws would go for the handle, and here I'm going back and punching those holes again just so they're visible and they're easy to access. It's at this point that we all sit back and admire this pedalboard together. And if you've been following along making your own, you can sit back and look at yours, because it should be beautiful. I really love the way this came out. I really love the look and the style of this specific pedalboard. I'm proud of the design. A local guitarist I know gave me all the dimensions he needed, and this is what I ended up coming up with. I'm really happy. He was really happy. This is about the 14th pedalboard that I've made in this style, so apparently People like it. Before sending this pedalboard off to its forever home, I had my boss Drew take it home, slap his pedals on it, riff a little bit, make sure everything was exactly what it needed to be. So I've got footage of that to show you so that you can see it in action. And if you're still interested in seeing me screaming on a microphone in my teenage years, stay tuned after that and you'll see that video too. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope that this video showed you guys that if you do not have musical talent, you still have something to contribute to the music industry. If you're interested in getting one of these pedalboards for yourself and having me make it, check out my Etsy. The link for that will be down in the description below. I make these frequently and I would love to make one for you. If you make one for yourself, send it over to me, DM it to me, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, MySpace, wherever you social. I might be there. Let me know what you make. I would love to see it. Please guys, if you liked the video, do all the things that you're supposed to do on videos. Like, comment, subscribe. Please, we are at like 2,600 subscribers. Next year, I'm going for 10K, baby. Alright, and I'm not going to get there unless you guys help me. So I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.